So this will be the last of the live reactions, as the last special for the 1,000 will be a special comic book special,
Yes.
which more for that later. But what delights have you found on the internet for our big celebration?
Well, we said a couple of videos ago we were talking about Anthrax, and we sort of said about like having him on the channel. And we said, oh, the only thing we'd ever reacted to was Bring the Noise with Public Enemy, and I'd say like our channels lent more in one direction than the other. But like ultimately, I'm a hip hop boy. I always had. Well, boy is probably a bit of an exaggeration at this stage, but and like one of my favorite hip hop bands of all time is Public Enemy. So when we were deciding on kind of what the last one would be, and was just like, oh, come, let's have a look in our history and pick a band and go with it. But yeah, because we just mentioned Public Enemy and Anthrax, I thought, oh, let's have a look and see if we can find a live. And what we actually have found, and not entirely sure exactly all the tracks that are covered, but is a nice little medley from
And a
nice
moose
little medley.
boosh.
Yeah, like not known for their nice little medleys, but from MTV in 2004, and we know it has Bring the Noise as well. So I'm hoping I get some real Public Enemy highlights and a bit more Public Enemy on the channel, and as I say, a song that we know we bloody love as well.
Yes, and from all the times I go to those Anthrax gigs, waiting for Flavor Flav to jump out of the back of a box at the back of the stage
Yeah,
to
boy.
shout, "Yeah, boy," which has still
Yeah.
never happened. I have seen them do it live with
I
Scott.
don't think he's allowed to travel
out.
outside of the US anymore, is he? I think he's had international travel licenses revoked from him, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those. If I have seen Anthrax do Bring the Noise with Scott Ian taking the role of Chuck D. But yeah, I've every time I go to see Anthrax, I'm like, oh, go on, just this once. We're in London. Come on, give it. But
It is strange to hear them do it without each other, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're so intrinsically linked now as a song that, yeah, I don't know. That it's not to say that they're bad. It's just you just go, it's not the one though, is it?
yeah. So shall we get our PE on?
Yes, but yeah, not a pee on. I should have put my Public Enemy t-shirt on. And unbutton another button. Hang on a minute, it's another episode. Be down to my flies soon. Right. I hope this is as great fun as everything that Public Enemy can be. Let's go.
In tribute to PE, please welcome to the stage Anthrax, the Beastie Boys, and the honorees themselves, Public Enemy!
But once we were brought here, we were robbed of our name, robbed of our language. We lost our religion, our culture, our God. And many of us, by the way we act, we even lost our mind.
I got a letter from your president the other day. I opened and read it. They said they were suckers. They wanted me for the army or whatever. Actually giving a damn, I said never. He was a man that never gave a damn about a brother like me and myself because they never did. I wasn't with it, but just that very minute it occurred to me. The suckers have authority. Cold sweating as I dwell in myself. How long has it been they got me sitting in a state pit? I gotta get up, but that door was thought before. I contemplated a plan on the cell phone. Another fugitive on the road. Was a hero to most. Was a hero to who? Was a hero to most, but he never been. To me, you see, straight up racist and sucker was simple and plain.
To George Bush.
Bang!
Get Wicked.
doesn't
Were
get
they
wicked.
wicked? Were they wicked?
Yes and no. It had a little bit of a problem with some of the sound quality in this. It's that thing of
MTV, man. Like,
yeah,
like,
it's
I
that thing
imagine
of
they were
these
more bothered
live
about
shows.
getting the people in the front row who were relatively famous and paid tickets, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you get this on like some of the VMAs and those sort of like thing shows. They do these sort of things where they're set up as TV studios and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
set up for the live music side of it for TV. So you do lose a little bit because I think Chuck's mic was weirdly mixed in that. But if I was there, it'd have been fun as fuck.
I don't think they'd have let us in, mate. I don't think we were the clientele that they were going for. Everyone seemed far too dressed up for us to be there. We didn't even dress up for our 1,000 subscribers. We ain't going to dress up for this, are we?
Nah. But yeah, seeing Scotty and bashing out his verse, slamming that guitar, it was all the things that I wanted. Added bit of Beasties again. Didn't know I wanted it, but I do.
It's funny enough you say that. I actually wanted to pick up, and I'll pick up on some other stuff like Public Enemy in a minute. But I actually went, why were the Beastie Boys there? they come out, they did very little, and come out on their most rallying cry of fight the power. So they got the three white dudes out to kind of sing along and just do what Beastie Boys do so well, which is kind of fill in the word at the end. But yeah, I did feel like it was a bit like, well, they're in the back. Can you use them? And then like, oh, they don't really perform any songs with us. Well, okay, let them come on. Let the boys come on. I do love the Beastie Boys.
Yes. But yeah, it said fun little medley with some metal in there to scare all the people that are going. We're just here for hip hop. What's this loud guitar?
Yeah, who are these? Who are these lads? So, like, one of the reasons why, I mean, obviously you love Anthrax, we both love the song, but one of the things I kind of, and we didn't even select it for this, but like, kind of while we're in that arena, I might as well go with it. So, Chuck D is in my top 5 rappers of all time, and there's a lot of rappers, so that really, I think, is credit to him to be in the top 5. I will say Flavor Flav is my top hype man of all time. The only person who I think could even get him close to running in a race is Bez from the Happy Mondays. But like I think he does rap on certain songs, etc., etc. But it's not his forte. His forte is there to again almost
add
do akin to
flavour.
what some and it really does, and like very very key, and that mix is great, and the mix was great from album 1 to kind of now, and we'll go out there and sort of dance around. But I mean, like I would love to at a certain point add to our ever growing list of things to do. I'd love to go back and do some of the Public Enemy albums, because they were we talked about this being a musical journey for us, so go back to the origins of our musical journeys, and Public Enemy was really big for me. Public Enemy, and lots of people find this in lots of different areas, like different sort of genres of music, different time periods and things like this. But listening to Public Enemy really changed me, and it changed me because they were the first band that I'd heard that had a view on the world, which is a view on the world that I'd never heard anywhere else. Now, sort of, subsequently, lots of other people kind of have that, and partially it's probably due to my age and like living in the UK, but it kind of opened my mind to so much more that is out there, so much more that was going on. And I think the honest truth of it is maybe a better person, because I think my eyes were open to what other people were going through and had gone through, because they don't just kind of talk about current time, do they? A lot of it's equatable to stuff that's happened in history, etc., etc. And I there's a whole lot of thanks for me, because I hopefully I'd have got along a path another way, but no, they really did lead me down a decent path. And we talk about music being used for lots of things, for sort of fun, for dancing, for more somber things, for anger, for love, for all those sort of things. But they were the first band that were the band for me that introduced me to that music can be really powerful. Music can bring along a political message and a message of change and a message of things aren't right in society. And they'll always hold such a high place in my consideration of my favourite bands of all time because of that. But as I say, like, it hits me because it's where I was on my musical journey when I got to them.
Yeah. For me, my introduction to Public Enemy, as I said when we did Bring the Noise, was through Bring the Noise. And then I sort of went, oh, let's see what else they did. And the thing is, obviously, I do like my hip hop, but obviously nowhere near as much as you do. But they are one of those ones where for the hip hop, the stuff I like, it has to be saying something, or at least sort of have a moral compass.
Yeah.
And, Public Enemy are that. For me being a little bit younger than you, my band for that was Rage. Rage was the ones for me, because obviously I'm a few years younger than you. And Rage was, they are taught, it may not be my struggle because I'm in England and not, in America, or even some of the stuff where it's in like Mexico and things like that. But that was my version of that, was speaking a message of shit. And you get those bands all the way through, because you can go back to like the Clash doing it in like
Yeah.
the 70s.
Oh God, you know, like there's been protest songs, protest music throughout time, hasn't there? And as I say, I
Yeah.
think it's when you join them on that path. But you know, you mentioned Rage, and I think that's why the transition and the love I have for Rage is so easy, because I think, like, despite kind of joining my journey early in you, when I get to Rage, I'm just like, yeah, this is music I want to hear. Like,
Yeah.
I'm already indoctrinated into, and don't get me wrong, I've gone through my years of like fluff and pop, and even around like Public Enemy, certainly being a hip hop fan, not everything is like this, and not everything kind of has a message. So there's lots of stuff that doesn't. But yeah, when a band comes along that I think not only has a message but does it really impressively in music, and it resonates with me, yeah, they're the special bands, aren't they? They're the ones that you hold on to for dear life and go, never leave me.
Yes. So yeah, I'm up for putting Public Enemy in the ever-growing albums list.
Yeah. We'll just we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Funny enough, one of the things that I think helped me is my first exposure to Public Enemy was Fight the Power. So it was a very good song to be exposed to. Now, weirdly enough, I heard Fight the Power, I really loved it. I bought the album beforehand because I am a chronological beast. But latterly, I didn't realise that there had been an album before that as well. So I even messed up chronology. But yeah, Fight the Power was what introduced me to them. And I don't think there's many better introductions to a band than that.
No.
But yeah, lots of other great stuff as well.
Yes. So, comments down there. Let us know what you think of this medley. As always, like, subscribe, ring the
And
bells.
I was going to say, like, speaking of musical journeys, where did you start? Let us know in the comments. What was that first band? Not necessarily the first band you heard that you liked, because I think probably we all have a different. Like, I mean, I've said this before. I think Mel and Kim was the first album I ever bought, and I did like it at the time. But I don't know, what was that band that you felt changed your musical journey, that pathed you on being open to new ideas in the world, new music, etc., etc., etc.
And again, thank you for joining us, especially this week while we are working our way through our 1000th celebration. Comic book show to follow tomorrow as the final part of our celebration, because we don't just do music reacts, we do comic book shows every week as well.
We bloody love our comics as well, don't we?
We do.
And for those of you who don't read comics, I guess it's like anything. For as much as we wax lyrical about some of the music we love, God, there's some amazing comic books out there as well. Yes. There's some bad ones. We'll try and guide you away from them, but there's some amazing ones.
Yes. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.